In today's Meta Monday episode, I'm bringing a new build that you probably haven't seen anywhere. Shinegreymon OTK. But before we dive into this build, if you enjoy these types of videos, do consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell for more of my future content. The build focuses on BT4 Shinegreymon, who for a long time was underrated. But with new promos made available, this Digimon might finally have his chance to shine. As always, I'll go over the card by card, the strengths, the weaknesses, and the combos. This deck runs 5 level 2s, 13 level 3s, 11 level 4s, 8 level 5s, 6 level 6s, 2 level 7s, 3 option cards, and 7 Tamers. For level 2s, this deck runs 4 BT5 Koromon and 1 Gurumon. Both Digimon allow you to draw cards in red when meeting a specific condition. Koromon if the Digimon has Greymon or Omnimon in its name, and Gurumon who draws you a card if your Digimon has 6000 DP or more. In looking at the specifics, not all of my Digimon in the level 4 category have 6000 base DP, meaning this baby isn't as useful. But in looking at my Greymon and Omnimon counts, Koromon will trigger more likely than Gurumon, at least early game. I don't recommend any other red eggs for the fact that these are the best eggs for Greymon decks. For level 3s, this deck runs Agumons and Gammamons. BT5 Agumon provides you the mild search ability for Greymons and Omnimon. The promo Agumon for DP buffs for Digimon with Greymon in their names. Gammamon are the newest addition to a few decks I've been working on. With BT8 Gammamon, when you play a hero or any red tamer for that matter, you get to draw a card. The last Gammamon gives you plus 2000 DP on your Digimon while you have Hiro Amanokawa on the board. While you may be wondering why I'm playing Gammamons in this deck, well, all will be made clear very soon. With 7 possible Tamers, you will surely see 1 or 2 in hand as you draw cards from Digivolving, which is why instead of using EX1 Agumon for potentially Agumon and Tamer search, or BT1 Agumon, I don't. This deck does not have a large number of Agumons, in addition I'd rather draw into my pieces than bottom decking important items. For level 4s, this deck runs 2 BT1 Greymon, 2 Agunimon, 3 BT5 Greymon, and 4 Geogreymon. BT1 Greymon for the plus 2000 DP and also for the fact that it's a counter-choking level 4, for 4 memory. Agunimon is a pseudo-finisher of the deck since you have so many Tamers. Additionally, BT5 Greymon is for DP buffs, while Geogreymon is a security surprise that complements your level 5 Chimeramon if you need it. The level 4s predominantly provide DP buffs and ways for you to potentially DNA Digivolve if needed. You may be wondering why I'm not running Starter Deck 1 Greymon. I have other ways to get extra checks if I need it. For level 5s, this deck runs 1 copy of BT8 Metal Greymon, 3 Metal Greymon Altaros modes, 2 EX1 Metal Greymon, and 2 Chimeramon. BT8 Metal Greymon is an option to really push your opponent's plan back a turn. But because the deck's MVP mega is Shinegreymon, I only run 1 as a 1 copy, for the fact that Shinegreymon is neither Dragonkin nor Machine. Chimeramon helps with the free Digivolution so that if you do have 2 memory, you can easily use the Digivolution plugin S for the free Evo Nemega. While your EX1 Metal Greymon provides piercing, and Altaros mode is additional DP buffs. Not a whole lot to substitute again, as you have searchability to Greymons and you have Chimeramons for the rest of your shenanigans. Level 6s is where we get a smidge on the spicy side. 2 copies of BT1 War Greymon, which is pretty standard, and 4 BT4 Shinegreymon. For anyone who is wanting to know what this list does, this isn't a yellow build, it's red. BT4 Shinegreymon has the passive effect of, when your red or yellow Tamer is suspended, this Digimon gets +1 security check. In combination with Hiro Amanokawa's, this boy can get big and check a lot of security. With each promo Hiro Amanokawa, this Shinegreymon gets an extra +2 checks for each hero suspended. 1 for its own effect, and 1 for the promo hero's effect if this Digimon has Gammamon in its Digivolution sources. Assuming you have multiple Tamers out, you can easily go Hybrid for game, or Blitz Omnimon. Speaking of which, this deck runs 2 Blitz Omnimon for the end of game finisher. This Digimon can be searched via BT5 Agumon and can be the finisher after you've ripped every one of your opponent's security with Shinegreymon. What an easy bargain, right? Moving to option cards, this deck runs 3 option cards in the form of 2 Digivolution Plugin S and 1 A Delicate Plan. Digivolution Plugin S helps you find your Digivolution pieces. It doesn't matter what level or color the Digimon is, it lets you add any Digimon if it's checked in security. Then you can basically Digivolve any of your Digimon except for a few of them, i.e. BT8 Shinegreymon and Chimeramon, for just the memory cost of the 2 option card. A Delicate Plan is a 1-up to help against the option card heavy lines, when your Shinegreymon gets in all those attacks. The last 7 cards of this deck are all Hiro Amanokawa Tamers. 3 for memory fixing, and 4 for the extra security if you have a Gamamon in your Digimon's Digivolution sources. Don't get me wrong, the BT8 Hiro Amanokawa already does work with giving you 3 memory and putting your Digimon 2000 DP higher if a level 5 or higher attacks, or it has Gamamon in its name. Again, if you have a Gamamon in your Digimon's Digivolution sources when you suspend the other Tamer, your Digimon gets +1 security check. With BT1 War Greymon, you could pump more checks if you want to. With Shinegreymon, 1 suspension is 2 additional checks. You might be wondering why no Nokia Shiromines with this particular build. Shinegreymon is the MVP and the star of this deck, and you want to maximize the red Tamers to utilize that +1 security check for each red Tamer suspended. For strengths and weaknesses, this deck is very linear and commits a lot of your resources to 1 stack. Staying in the safety of the rays may be what you need to do if your opponent has a lot of removal option cards. Strengths-wise, this deck has a lot of potential to not only OTK, but also swing in the conventional way. You don't necessarily need to build the stack depending on your matchup. As for weaknesses, this deck plays more mid to late game. If early game you can't find your pieces and if your opponent is super aggressive, it could be the end of you. Geogreymon helps supplement some removal in the case of Imperial Dramon, when they carefreely swing in with jamming XVmon. But otherwise, this deck is a lot of fun. For combos, this deck starts as always in the rays, popping a Gurimon or Koromon, and digivolving into a Roogie. Preference-wise, you want to have Gamamon as quickly as possible in your trash or your Digivolution stack. By digivolving into a Greymon, you can just casually pass them to memory. Let's assume many turns have passed now and you have heroes on the board and Gamamon in trash. Unfortunately, you only have Agumon in your Digivolution sources of your Greymon, and a Geogreymon is on the field. No problem. Chimeramon is your fix for all of this, allowing you to DNA Digivolve your Greymons together to nab Gamamon back into the Digivolution sources. Whether you're at 3 or 2 memory, you can play Digivolution Plugin S to digivolve into your War Greymon or BT4 Shinegreymon. With Shinegreymon, each instance of a promo hero will give you +2 security check. Meaning with 3 of these, that's a Shinegreymon checking security check +6, and then Omnimon for game. Having a Delicate Plan is especially useful in this situation. BT1 War Greymon has that natural +1 check on Digivolve, and again, with 3 heroes, that's another +3 checks for a total of 5. On stream with Eggman, I was able to clear 7 security off Yellow Hybrid with Shinegreymon, and have him survive. Because with Hiro Amanokawa, you can potentially DP buff all the way to 22,000 DP, that even a 12 card in hand Eden's Javelin doesn't hurt you. What are your thoughts on Shinegreymon OTK? While it's not the top tier of top tier decks, it's a fun and interesting combo that I saw while thinking about older cards. Next week, I'll be going over another deck on the community poll, and if you want a particular build, I'll be going down that list. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.